And that's the end of night 1 of WrestleMania, which brings us to night 2, WrestleMania Sunday.
Yes, what opened up with that card, which I know John Cena, the host of night 2, which he showed up in night 1, by the way.
Yes, of course.
But
So,
his
like,
presence in night 2 was just intensified even more because of the fact his introduction to match 1 of the night.
for sure, he was a good host this year at WrestleMania, but at the same time, there were some moments that I have to admit were a bit cringe, like with Danhausen and with The Miz and with Kit Wilson and of course the little people in the Danhausen mask.
You're not much of a fan of Danhausen, I believe.
It's not that I'm not a fan of him. It's just that it's a little silly, you know. It's a little silly.
But I mean, it's a family show. I mean, if the kids love him, he's selling merch. Hell, why not? If TKO is about their money, Danhausen is their guy, and he's the money grab, right?
Right. Well, moving on, that brings us to match 1 of night 2 of WrestleMania 42, which was Brock Lesnar versus the young and up and coming, the Ruler, Obafemi. And the result was Obafemi dethroned the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Oh my God! And I'd love to say this. I love that they pulled the trigger on Oba Femi, and I feel like it has a lot to do with Brock's character of really pushing the younger talent. Now everyone came to believe that Brock was gonna be selfish. How their storylines in the dirt sheet was like Brock Lesnar does not want to lose until his match at SummerSlam, which now that we understand is a different story. Because I don't know if it was Brock's decision, Triple H's decisions, or TKO's decision. No matter whose decision it was perfect. I blame no one for this match. The match was beautiful. It showcases Oba's power, strength, and resiliency. And to conquer the beast like that, now that's a conquering. This is Brock Lesnar, the guy that beat Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania. Now, the young and coming Femin has this conquered the beast at WrestleMania, that's beautiful. Now, if Undertaker was still wrestling at the time, I would believe Oba would have took out the streak of the Undertaker. Now, judging on that, what was your thoughts on that match?
Incredible matchup. I was on my seat for every second of that match. I was off my seat, I'm telling you, like those two powerhouses clashing in the ring was a match made in heaven, man. Like to see Obafemi power out of an F5 to get up and then deliver that follow brace power bomb to end the matchup. It was phenomenal. A very, very great performance by the parts of Lesnar and Femi, and I was very, 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 very intrigued and very, very like happy to see that matchup go the way it did. I'm very happy that Lesnar decided to put Femi over, and he's looking now. WWE is looking to the future because I believe only the sky is the limit for Oba Femi in WWE. If they book him properly and if things keep going the way they are, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit.
Definitely him, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans. So much black talent, so much black excellence. And this is something we haven't seen for many years, judging for the fact of how WWE was scrutinized by pushing black individuals, whether it been over the years of Mark Henry, Ron Simmons, you name it. There's just been a lackluster of black champions, and I feel like this is the gateway of history being changed in the WWE, and the future of black excellence is looking bright.
Well said. That was well said. The future is looking very bright, and I think that right now the next talents to blow up are going to be the gatekeepers in the future of the company. Whether it be Oba, Javon, Trick, and I'd even put Carmelo Hayes in that. Let's go that picture.
Definitely, definitely. And if words serve me well, Leon Slater eventually when he makes the jump from TNA to WWE, which WWE has their eyes on Leon Slater. Now moving on to match 2 of night 2 of WrestleMania 42.
Match 2 in a six-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. The champion Penta defends against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, Rusev, JD McDonough, and Rey Mysterio. with the result being Penta retains the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, I love that match, and I feel like they gave everyone the time they deserved. It was a longer match. It wasn't a rushed match on the card, which everyone was calling it the jobber ladder match. And I feel like everyone really showcased their talent and to prove that they aren't no jobbers. Now, what did you think about this ladder match?
Very athletic matchup. A lot of high spots. A lot of good technical wrestling in the match. I thought it was very impressive to see certain spots, like especially with Von Evans jumping off the top rope into a ladder. Lots of very gnarly movements in the match. Very incredible ladder
Oh
match.
my God, that Canadian destroyer that JD Madonna took on the ladder from Penta.
That was phenomenal. Very gnarly. But I also wonder if he's okay because that looked like it did not tickle.
Oh man, well JD's a trooper, man. From the injury that he came back from probably a year ago by now, like, oh, JD JD's a future. And I believe I want to consider a future world champion, but maybe if he could get a push just like Finn, maybe a future world champion, but I feel like he would need to leave the group of the Judgment Day and go on his own path to see what he can do solo before I can make that decision of him being a world champion someday.
Well said. Well said.
Moving on to match 3 of the night.
Match 3 of the night. Sami Zayn defends the United States champion against the up-and-comer Trick Williams. And the result, Trick Williams defeats Sami Zayn to capture his first United States championship.
Oh wow. Now, that was beautiful. Here's my take on this. I really felt this should have been a triple threat match and to have Carmelo involved into this matchup. Now, not taken away from both individuals because both individuals did their thing. Now, Sammy Hogan is now being booed for the fact that he's not looked at as an underdog anymore. Yet alone as a guy that keeps getting opportunities after opportunities. Now, um, Trick Williams, a little bolt combo. I feel that's perfect. Little Yachty really proved himself to from an outsider to be looked at as like one of the greatest managers, in my opinion, because he gives me like a young mouth of the South. Him and Trick are just perfect together. The ad libs that they go back and forth, and it's just like I feel like that dynamic duo is just incredible. And to have Sami Zayn really showcase his talent, whether you like him or not, really put over Trick Williams, and the match was very awesome.
Technical wrestling and also like a lot of like nice hot spots during the match too. But I also think personally, we've yet to see the best of Trick Williams. I think there's only more to come from him now, and only more great things are coming for him. Sami Zayn did his part too, and I can understand why some fans have a problem with Sammy, but I think Sammy is still awesome to me. Maybe it's Tobias being a home city boy, just like you and me, though. Like, but I think personally that like this is going to be a very good storyline, and this is not the end of it either. Because once you get into SmackDown, we'll have a little bit of tidbits to continue the story on.
So now we'll move forward to match 4 of night 2 of WrestleMania 42.
Match 4. Finn Balor as the Demon versus Dominic Mysterio. The result. The Demon Finn Balor defeats Dominic Mysterio.
Ooh, now that was amazing. I really love the fact that they brought back the Demon Finn Balor. I mean, we haven't seen the Demon in over 4 years now. I believe the last time we seen the Demon was Edge, if I'm not mistaken, in Hell in a Cell.
Yes, I remember that. That was also a WrestleMania that year. That was also a great matchup between the two of them. It was a long time ago, but still, this matchup right here between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, that was legendary. To see the return of the Demon character, the fans were in awe. The electricity in the ring, it was something special. It was
Um,
another classic matchup.
And I believe that Finn really brought out the best in Dominic Mysterio. Like I feel like Dominic Mysterio really gave it his all, and for the fact that both of them knowing each other and the beating that they give to each other, I feel like in WWE a lot of the friendship matches are always the best matches. Whether you're talking about Kevin, Sammy, or just Trick, Carmelo, like all the friendship matches, the friends turn foes, that storyline and the brutality that they always deliver to each other right when they culminate into a matchup is just beautiful. And I feel like the story tells itself. I felt like Dominic really gave in his best Eddie Guerrero out there. And it kind of gave me the similarity of just watching the match with Ray versus Eddie, the custody of Dominic. And I just really put the two together. I blended together, and Finn did his thing. Finn looked like the best version of the demon yet. And I feel like he was happy to bring back that character because he went all out. The movement, the speed, the intensity, the agility. It just gave so much more to Finn's character, always seeing the demon out there. And like I said, Dominic Mysterio as well, coming out the Rey, like the king of Mexico with with the Triple A title, which I believe is the first time featured, but WrestleMania of itself. And I feel like that gives a lot of credibility to Triple A, which Triple A is really doing their thing down there with Undertaker running the whole show, and I really love Triple A, and I think Dom is really becoming the face of Triple A, and I really love if the rumors are true. If Ray does have his last match, I don't believe it should be against Gunter. I feel like his last match should be against his son for the title that excluded Rey Mysterio his whole career, the Triple A Mega Championship, and I feel like that should be held at Triple Mania.
That will be a blockbuster matchup to see for sure. Dominic and Ray for the Triple A Mega Championship. I would pay money to see that one.
In retrospect, if the match goes well between the mass match against the original Grande Americana and Grande Americano, I feel like if the Kaiser version wins, I don't think we'll see the match with Ray and Dominic Mysterio. I think El Grande Americano will take on Dominic Mysterio because at Triple Mania because I think that's the bigger match that everyone wants to see. Now, not saying that Ray should rush his retirement, but I really do think that if he does retire, it should be against his own son.
Well said. I agree 100%. It should be a passing of the torch moment, kind of with the Rock and Hogan at WrestleMania 18.
Yes, and if even if it's not for the title, mind you, we could have mask versus hair match. If Dominic loses, Dominic cuts his hair. If Ray loses, Ray not only retires, but he has to take off the mask and hand it to Dom.
Oof, that would be amazing. Such a storyline would just be phenomenal. Just seeing that would be like I just wonder like how has WWE not done something like this already yet? And it seems like something that would just make sense and it seems like it's just logical.
I'd love to be a writer one day, but here's the thing. WWE, I can't really blame WWE as a whole, knowing that Triple H, the writers, or TKO, someone gives the final answers.
That's for sure. At the end of the day, it's always the corporates that make the final answers at that level.
Correct, correct. Now, moving on to.
This will be match 5. So this was Jade Cargill, the WWE Women's Champion, versus Rhea Ripley, and the result being Rhea Ripley defeated Jade Cargill to become the new WWE Women's Champion.
Now, what are your thoughts about the match?
Now, I thought this match was very excellent and athletic, and I thought there was a lot of from what I gathered from the matchup, there was a lot of like power struggle between Ripley and Jade Cargill between the two powerhouses. And I thought that like it was a nice back and forth showdown. But ultimately, once Io Sky came out into the match, thing the power dynamic changed, and I thought it was a very interesting end of the matchup to see how Jade Cargill's reign be taken down by Rhea Ripley.
Yes. I feel like it was the perfect person to do it. I just don't feel like it was the perfect time. Now, I feel like Jade Cargill should have had more of a run with the title. I feel like she has a lot to prove here into the WWE. She had a long run with her TBS title in AEW. Now, why is it that she can't have a longer run in WWE? I feel like she should hold that title and really give her character so much credibility into the powerhouse of the juggernaut that she is. And I feel like Rhea had her time. We don't need to see another Rhea Hogan moment. We just need to see Jay Cargill really take over, grab the women's division by the balls, and really and really go for a run with it.
I agree for sure. And I personally think that if it wasn't Rhea Ripley, she's like the next best choice to defeat Jade Cargill. But the reign should have went longer, and ultimately, I think it should have been Bianca Belair to dethrone her. But understandably, Bianca's not in a position to dethrone Jade Cargill as she's currently on maternity leave.
Correct, correct. And I feel like this moment was not supposed to be for Rhea. It was supposed to be Cargo versus Bianca, due to their storyline that I felt like was still carrying on since for the past 3 to 2 years. I really don't. I've heard fans saying how could you have a baby like at this time you ruin your career. I don't think so. For a mother, at what point of the age do you want them to have a baby? At this point, I feel like it's a perfect time for them to start a family and not give themselves to a company that's going to deteriorate their bodies.
Well said, well said. I mean, there's all the time in the world to be a wrestler in a ways, but there's only a limited time to have children. And if you have to weigh what's more important, I say family comes first always.
Exactly. Well said. Now, this will be match 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the last match of WrestleMania, the closer, the end all be all, the main event. CM Punk defends his World Heavyweight Championship against the Tribal Chief, the OTC, Roman Reigns. And the result, Roman Reigns defeats CM Punk to capture his first World Heavyweight Championship of this version of the belts with his seventh world title overall.
I love it. I love it. I feel like this is another match that had years of culmination with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns being one of the original members of the Shield, which was not handpicked by CM Punk, because I heard CM Punk in Roman Reigns' place. The original three was supposed to be Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Chris Hero. Triple H changed that decision to take away Chris Hero because of his age, wanted a young Roman Reigns from the Samoan bloodline. So I feel like the exclusion of Roman Reigns, with CM Punk excluding Roman Reigns from being part of the original version of the Shield, I feel like that's where it all started.
That makes a lot of sense thinking about the history behind Punk Punk and Roman Reigns' feud. And it makes a lot of sense considering the fact that Roman has even called out CM Punk in promos building up to WrestleMania, saying that he's a hypocrite and a liar for saying that he handpicked the three of them to be the Shield when he didn't do that.
And I feel like there was a lot of history with Punk trying to, use my French, shit on the company over the years of when he left, and making it even harder for Roman Reigns to really be the top guy and really push the company to new heights, while CM Punk was in the background trying to run the company to the floor.
That's definitely true. I mean, he had so many slanderous campaigns on podcasts. I mean, he went to AEW for a few years and was slandering the company there too. So there's definitely was a love hate relationship between CM Punk and the WWE at one point.
For Punk to have faced Now, each members of the Shield, whether it been uh, Dean Ambrose, which was John Moxley in AEW, his comeback facing Seth Rollins, and now finally closing it up with Roman Reigns. I felt like this was a very awesome full circle moment, and it was very beautifully done. And for to have the old man Phil lose the title, I feel like it was the right decision. And what do you believe is next for CM Punk at this moment?
Well, once we get into Monday Night Raw, I think that the future is looking bright for CM Punk. He could be heading. I mean, if there's a draft, we never know. He could be heading to SmackDown. He could stay on Raw. He could always build up for a rematch with Roman, or he could go to SmackDown and compete for the world title on that show.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Well, um, if I'm not mistaken, that would be the end of WrestleMania.
Yep. The end of WrestleMania, both nights.
Both nights. Okay. Well, we seem to have covered everything from WrestleMania. And thank you guys for watching. This was the Top Rope Maneuver podcast. This is our first episode, which would WrestleMania 42. This is gonna go down in the book of our podcast history, and we're gonna look back at this first podcast, and we're gonna look at how we've built, how we the people have joined together as a community to really build Top Rope Maneuver. And if anything, if you have any questions, any segments that you want, anything answered, any questions, please send us a email at the Top Rope Maneuver podcast, the Top Rope Maneuver at gmail.com. That's Top Rope Maneuver at gmail.com. And you can hit us up at both our social media sites, which is mine will be YNGEZ Gaming, that's YNG Easy Gaming on all platforms, and you can hit up Ebonic Raven, which he's also a top music artist here in Montreal scene, representing H Town, and you can catch him and some live music. We're gonna cook up an intro for the show, and we have lots of cool things that we're gonna do on the Top Rope Maneuver podcast. Raven, anything else you would like to add?
Stay tuned because Top Rope Maneuver is coming with some new material for you guys, some new matches from BCW. Stay tuned. Lots of things are coming your way, and I can and you just got to say we'll keep in touch, and we shall be back with some more podcasts and more news and more information for the people.
That's right. Stay tuned to the Top Rope Maneuver podcast. I'm Easy, and we're here with my co-host, Ebonic Raven, and we're out.
We're out.